Yesterday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the seemingly unthinkable happened.
Tottenham, I think, will go into this one bit of confidence, looking to win this one, and you see some results above them and think big chance.
Yeah, these are games you've got to put to bed.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be devastated if don't take 3 points from this one, that's for sure.
Hey there, little fella. What seems to be the matter? Well, I'm an Ipswich fan, and since being back in the Premier League, we've not won a game all season long. Now, I can understand why you're feeling blue, but I've got a name for you. Who? Who can help us? Ask Crystal Palace. Dr. Spurs is the name, and giving away points is the game. Dr. Spurs, Spurs, calling Dr. Spurs. Dr. Spurs, can I have a win now?
And Ipswich Town have their first Premier League win of the season. It is bedlam in the northeast corner.
Manchester City to lose to Ipswich Town. That's the definition of Spursy. Batter Aston Villa to lose to Ipswich Town. Will we ever stop being Spursy?
Excellent. Great piece of work there by Final Word Forum host. Great lad, smashing, big Spurs fan, majestic, different class pal. Remember, he's alongside the experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew every Sunday evening, and that's from 6:30 p.m. Now, let's not waste any time. We get straight to our next guest, the former Spurs midfielder, sports host Jamie the Whipster O'Hara. Jamie. Whipster.
Morning, boys.
Whipster,
Morning,
how are you, first of all, mate?
I'm all right, lads. I'm all right.
Mate, I mean, come on. You won that game. You won that game yesterday. You're third, Jamie. You're third in the league.
I know. I thought it was going to be a whooping, boys. I did. I thought we were going to give a right whooping.
But
Didn't
why
happen,
is it,
mate? Didn't happen.
Jane, why, look, you end of October, you went to Palace, got done 1-0. Then you beat City in the League Cup. And then from there, you've knocked 4 past Villa. Got done narrowly by Galatasaray. And then this one at the weekend. So, I mean, trying to predict a Spurs result at the moment is tough business for anybody, isn't it?
Whooping.
I know, mate, but, look, Christmas is coming up. We wanted to get the other teams, get some wins on the board. Palace needed a win. Ipswich needed a win. Just come and play Tottenham. We'll give you a result. Don't worry about it. Oh, don't. It's devastating. It really was, because if you look at it, it's right on the edge of being a really good, couple of weeks in terms of being back like third or fourth in the Premier League, knocking Man City out. I like the Galatasaray one. You take on the chin and say, it was, we're doing all right in the Europa League, but you lose that one. And then you go into the international break. We could have been third. It could have been third. And everyone talking about how good Spurs are and, we're back and we're doing this and we're doing that. And then you lose that game and you're like, we're 10th. And you go, how have you managed to lose that game? And it just brings up all the same arguments that everyone's having all the time with Ange Postecoglou is a defending and the way we concede goals so easily. The defending for the goals, lads. Honestly, McCoist could have scored out there, and he never scored in the Premier League.
Oh, that's harsh.
No, hey, harsh. Consider I never played in it, pal. Anyway, right, moving swiftly on. Jamie, you're talking about it, and you're absolutely right. Now, the first thing we've got to say, we've got to balance it a little bit, mate. Great result, Ipswich. And the way the game turned out, they deserved it. They absolutely deserved it.
Yeah, they did.
But it's a $6 million question, pal. What can Tottenham do to have more stability about them?
Well, the only argument I can say with that is the manager is so stubborn. He doesn't want to adapt his tactics and be more defensive and more resilient. I look at Liverpool this season, right under Jurgen Klopp, fullbacks bombing on, high, wide, exciting football, but we get done. But they had better players than Spurs. That's why they were where they were. But they get done. If you look at Liverpool this season, it's the complete opposite. They still play good football, but it's more, it's more efficient. It's more solid. They're compact. They don't concede goals. They'll win games by, moving the ball and playing exciting football in certain stages of games. But you ain't going to score against them easily. Tottenham are doing exactly that. Tottenham are just gung-ho football, fullbacks high and wide, and we're just getting exposed. We ain't got the players to play like that. Holding midfield. The midfield's all over the place.
I was going to say, James, that there's been a lot of changes in the middle of the park, isn't there? Whether it's Bissouma starting, whether Maddison was in there with them, then it's Matasar's back in. Benton Kerr's been playing at the moment. Kulusevski has played off more as a 10, etc.
Yeah.
So there's been quite a lot of change in that area of the field, and that to me is where teams seemingly are finding the room to get at you.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I don't think he knows who to play in midfield. He's wanted to play this. He wanted to play 2 10s really with Kulusevski and Maddison, but it hasn't worked. So he's had to drop Maddison, and Kulusevski's been the better player. And then then you play 2 holding midfielders, but he doesn't know who to play. Does he play Bentancur, Star? Does he play Bissouma? And whoever's played in there's let him down. Really, they're not protecting the back 4. I think Bissouma's the best one at doing that, but he can go missing. He goes wandering. But Romero, listen, as much as I love him and everyone talks about he's a great defender, if you watch how he defends, he runs around all over the gaff. He's like a headless chicken at the back. He never actually just stands in the middle and defends the 2 posts. But for the first goal for Ipswich yesterday, Dragosan, who's the other centre-half, is trying to stop the cross.
Yeah.
They're all over the place at the back, and it's unacceptable. If you're a team like Ipswich, and fair play to Kieran McKenna, he knew what he was going to do. He'll say, look, be solid, be hard to beat, and Spurs will give you a chance. They will give you chances because they're so bad at the back that they'll just give you chances. And what's really worrying is the fact that it's not like it's a terrible back 4. They're top players. Pedro Porro, Romero, Dragosan or Van der Ven, and Udogie. They're top players.
Jamie, I'll tell you what I'm, mate, and I genuinely mean this. It would not, having said all that, right, it would not surprise me in the slightest if Tottenham won something this year.
Are you having me on, Ali?
No, I'm deadly serious. Mate, I promise you, I am deadly serious. I genuinely think that Tottenham could win a cup. No chance in the league. No chance.
I know what you're doing here. You're trying to set me up so that you can clip this up and you're going to get me to come back on and say Spurs are back and I look like an absolute donut.
No, not at all, mate. I'm absolutely, my hand in my heart, right? Because, the reason I'm saying it, Ange's already come out and said that, generally speaking, he wins things in his second year, which is factually correct.
Yeah.
I think you're not
you can't win it. Ali, listen, as much as we all want to, they've got some good, play some good football. Ali, you can't win anything playing like that.
But you can because you're inconsistent. Yeah, I tell you why, mate. I tell you why I think, and I might be proved totally wrong. I think on your day, as you've proved in the last couple of weeks, you can beat MD, which means you can win a cup, but means you can't win the league.
Yeah, there's no way we can win the league, that's for sure.
Yes.
But everyone's stalling. Look, the Carabao Cup maybe. But, Europa League, mate, Ali, and you talk about Europe, you go and play against a really good side and you concede and you're 2-0 down at half time. You're playing against an Italian side, mate. You've got no chance. It's the problem. The defending is a shambles. Look, you might get lucky and you might get the Carabao Cup. We've got to beat Man United, who have now got a new manager. So, that's a tough game. And it's all Premier League teams in that now. So, it's a hard one to win. The FA Cup is always a long stint, at the end of a season, which is hard. And the Europa League, you've got to be solid. You've got to be hard to beat. West Ham won, I know it's West Ham, but they won that Europa Conference League because they was hard to beat. They didn't concede goals. And most teams who win, Real Madrid, they won it. They were hard to beat. They weren't necessarily the best team, but they was hard to score against.
Yeah.
Now, Spurs, you can see goals for fun.
Yeah,
you can. And it's so easy. You can get at them all the time. I don't think you can win a trophy like that.
No, very true, very true.
Jamie, I've got a wee feeling, mate, that this won't be the last Monday morning that you and I will be chatting.
Mate, honestly, I'll come on whenever you want, lads. Just try and make it 9:45, yeah? It's a bit early for me this time.
All right, mate. Take care. Good to speak to you, pal.
See you later, boys.
Ali, just quickly, sorry. You can, can't you? Jamie is right. You can have that great attacking mindset. You can have wanting to be positive, wanting to play front foot football. But you can, if you drill them hard enough and if you work them hard enough and if you, I think, stick to a group of players, particularly in that middle of the park, if you stick to and work at them morning, noon and night, you can have all the aggression going forward, and then when you lose it, you can have that solidity and strength you need.
It's just to a certain degree, you can get caught in the counter, right? We know that can happen.
That can happen to the very best teams.
Absolutely.
It happens a lot.
But generally speaking, they probably, I'm not sure they get back into their shape quick enough when they lose the ball.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I personally think that there's been a bit of change in the middle of the park. Might have been enforced, with Bissouma going in and out and others coming in and out. It's chopped and changed a fair bit in there. Maybe it's time now for Ange to nail his colours to a couple of and say, you guys are going to play for the next half a dozen.
Few games. Yeah. And it's funny, and Jamie thinks I'm at the wind-up, but I'm not.
No.
I think they could win a cup. I really do.
Of course they absolutely could.
I'm saying that's what they do, but they've just not got real level of consistency in them. But on their day, they'll throw in a 4-1 Villa, they'll knock Manchester City out. They'll go up to United and win.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.